Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608. Today we're playing Starmade, and we need to talk more about factories. Last time we talked about microassemblers and capsule refineries, and about our main storage and buffers, factory enhancers, and all that. Now let's get into the meat of a factory base. Factories. So, there are three factories. There's the basic factory, standard factory, advanced factory. Let me space those out. Oh, basic, standard, and advanced, they're in that order. The basic factory, build basic things in it. Now to use a factory, walk up to press R, you can deactivate production, you can activate production, you can change production. These are all the things that you build in a factory. All just the plain basic things. We would like to produce power block, for example, power reactors. Now in the future, you might not have power reactors after the update, but right now we're power reactors. If you don't know what that is, that's fine, because it works just the same anyway. But view production recipe, this tells you what you're going to need. Alloyed metal mesh, 1 times 20, total times 20, manufactured microassembler. So you're going to need a alloyed metal mesh, you're going to need 20 of them per reactor. If you don't know where to get alloyed metal mesh, it recommends going to a microassembler. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend using the byproduct of the capsule refinery to get alloyed metal mesh. So let's hop out of creative. I think I needed to actually out of that to stuff in here I don't need. Anyway, I need some alloyed metal mesh. I would like 20 of them. Why did I double click that anyway? So let's pop in 20 alloyed metal mesh, and when the production tick hits, turns it into a power reactor. That's cool, isn't it? Go back and forth feeding. Or, and do this. Hit C on the factory, B on your main storage. Now it will start pulling whatever it needs out of the main storage. Every tick it'll pull 20 metal mesh out of the main storage and build a power reactor. Now, I don't want the power reactors to sit here and fill up, because eventually it's going to get overfull and start leaking. So we want to hit C on the storage and V on this factory. So now every storage tick, which I think is 2 production ticks, it'll pull out power blocks. See? Right, and to see the setup of this, go back to the first of the factory tutorials. This be the last episode. See how I set up the main storage. Basically, I have it set to auto pull everything. And that is a basic factory. Now, what if I don't want to make power anymore? I want to make gray hull. You can type in here, and it will this drop down will limit anything that says hull in it. Orange, I would like gray. So now, I'm producing gray hull. Might be thinking, that's going to take ever producing one gray hull at a time. Yes, it is. I'm going to add some extra storage to this factory. In fact, I'm going to add 100 storage, so that way it has, so I can produce lots and stay in here while it's waiting to be pulled and without having any problems with overflowing cargo. Alright, using one at a time, just like with the microassembly, the capsule refinery, factory enhancers. So I have 1 factory and 2 enhancers, so I should be 3 tick. Go up to 9. No, it went up to 3 because it pulled the main pulled those out as this one produced new. So it looks like it only have 6 in here. Yep. Now, 4 factory enhancers plus 1 factory means they'll produce 5 every tick. 5. I should get 10. The main should pull that before it gets to 15. Right. You can add many of these as you can handle, and if I'm not mistaken, factory enhancer you add has more drain on the power, so keep that in mind. I don't know how to check it offhand. Probably away. Base station structure. Power recharge system. Factory system. Efficiency 5. This is going to give you all about the factory. It doesn't look like it's going to give you power though. Huh, okay. Anyway, that's the way to see the factory systems. Tell you what they are, but it tells you how many blocks they are and how many things they can produce. That's interesting. But just keep in mind it takes up extra power. I should have looked up in the wiki how much power, but a sizable reactor you shouldn't about it. And if you see these start flashing red, just turn off the production of factories. Okay, more about the basic factory. Let's hop back in out of creative mode. Let's go to our inventory. Craft. You have in your pocket have a very simple refine raw materials. Snag some raw materials. Knox. Whisper. Okay. Find raw materials. In your pocket and refine raw materials up to 100 volume. Every time that ticks, it'll change the shard composite or metal mesh depending on what you're building or what you put in here. So it's almost like a microassembler that runs on raw material. That's in your pocket. It is built into your spacesuit. You'll always have that with you. Craft generic materials. Yeah, this is basically a microassembler in your pocket. It'll change capsules, crystal composite. Oh, it looks like it'll even scrap. I didn't know it was scrap. If I had scrap, I put in there. It's a pocket microassembler that does one time. Craft basic factory. You'll need either tin metal mesh or tin crystal composite. Put tin alloyed metal mesh. That's hard to say. And it'll make me a basic factory. Or it'll do crystal composite the same. So as long as you have your spacesuit, as long as you're in the game, can't lose your spacesuit, you'll have the ability to create a basic factory. As long as you can find some materials to do. That is the basic factory. Now the basic factory you can also use to build other factories. You can build the basic factory, you can also build a standard factory. Take a look. Yeah, standard factory takes 20 alloyed metal mesh and 20 crystal composite, and that builds a standard factory. Standard factory. Let's give him a little cargo space. Put that up there. Let's go ahead and give the advanced some cargo space here while I'm thinking about it. Alright. Standard factory. Produce all these things. Lights and buttons. Logic, I believe, is usually done in a standard. Standard armor is done in a several weapons. I'd like to make cannon. Cannon barrels, cannon computer. Make a cannon computer. It's gonna take highlight and crystal composite. I don't have highlight or crystal. I have crystal composite, but I don't have the highlight. Or do I? I don't know. Let's tell it to pull the highlight. Nope, I don't. So it pulls the crystal composite, but it doesn't pull the highlight because I don't have highlight. Did I throw in Just per Hatel, okay. So it's going to pull what it needs, or what it can of what it needs. So it's going to keep pulling this 1,000 crystal composite until it finds some highlight to go with it to produce cannon computer. It's 1,000 crystal composite and 500 highlight capsules. So let's pull that to go away. Let's find some highlight. Which one's highlight? Blue? No. Highlight. Hell. Oh. They, thinking it's the wrong thing. Let's throw some highlight in there. Okay, that works too. Now we're producing highlight. And the standard factory is now producing cannon computers because we have the appropriate material. But I also want this to pull so I don't have a backup of cannon computers in my standard factory. The advanced factory works the same way as the others do, just that it has a different set of things it can build. Change production, build all these things. Advanced armor, Bobby AI modules, I believe. Lots of the effects are in here. Explosive, force field, advanced armor. Ooh, pickup rails. The pickup rails are in. And radar jammers. Some of the rail shields are into the advanced. How'd you get an advanced factory? Well, you can build an advanced factory from a standard factory. Notice every level has its own specific things it can build. A basic here can build hull, basic. We were doing regular gray hull, production. But in the standard factory for hull, you don't get any of that. So each factory has specific blocks it builds, and it's a pain to remember which ones are which. So I like to, on my stations, set up or preset these factories in groups. So I have a group that are producing hull, a group that's producing standard armor, and a group that's producing advanced armor. And I have them pre-set up and have them segregated so I don't just have this huge wall of factory. I like a wall of factories, but I have them usually in a little decorative alcove type deal. So I can say, oh, these are my machines are already set up to do hull, so I can just hit activate and deactivate production. In fact, factories are controllable with logic. My logic. There we go. Not the logic I was looking for. Button here. I have this button. Hit it a couple times. It is sending a low signal. So to these factories, turned off. High signal turns them back on. Use sensors and whatnot to say, oh, if this cargo block is half full, turn off all the factories. All types of fancy stuff like that. But that's really pleasing. Or another trick for them is if you have a button, it sends a high to them very quickly, then a low, so it'll turn them all on for a brief moment, then turn them all off. So it's sort of like an emergency cutoff. So if you're working with these, had this one on and this one on. I don't remember in this group whether you had the standard on or the advanced on, and you didn't want to go through them all. You just hit the button and it turns them all off. And there's situations you're going to want to do that. Like one of my factory stations, I had a group of factories that produced 10,000 units at a time, and it put a real drain on the power. But once I was done building out of them, I'd hit the button, it would turn all these factories off. And so I wouldn't have 10,000 purple hull in my inventory, and I only needed 1,000. Anyway, I've been JW608. This has been the absolute basics of factory. And next time we're going to talk a little more about factories. We'll probably talk about production chains. Alright, I've been JW608. This has been Starmade. I'll dig you cats. later.